Hello everyone, this is Passionate Kisses, 1976, and there was a subject I wanted to touch on a little more serious note, because it has affected my life, looking back over the years. Just curious, to those of you that have children, do you honestly know everything that happens with your child? Are they at the point in their relationship with you where they can talk to you about absolutely everything and keep nothing from you? The reason I ask this is because something that happened to me as a really small child, and what made me think about this was when I done a video response to Billy Biggin earlier about would I, could I, should I, and I touched on loving someone, and I gave the reason. It was hard for me because it goes back to childhood. It made me start thinking again. I thought I'd put it out of my mind, but I guess I hadn't. There wasn't really a close-knit, affectionate relationship in my household between me and my parents growing up. Alcoholism was a really big issue with my dad off and on through the years. He was very abusive to my mother. But this goes back before then, before the alcohol abuse and stuff started. My point for bringing that up was that there just never was a close-knit bond between none of us. How can parents not know when something bad happens to a child? I was 3 years old, and we went to visit my dad's sister in Virginia, and for years and years my mind tried to justify something that happened at that visit, and I told myself growing up that I dreamed it, and then I went from telling myself that to accepting that it happened and telling myself that I was to blame, that I was just a dirty little girl. We went to visit my dad's sister, and she had a son and a daughter. And all I can remember is at some point when we were there, her son had led me back to his bedroom. I'm thinking he was probably about 20 years old at that time. And I remember him shutting the door behind him and locking the door and turning the stereo up pretty loud. I remember a chair that sit kind of toward the center of the room, and him sitting there and telling me to get up on his knee and to sit on his lap. I don't feel comfortable with discussing what happened after that. I've kept this bottled up for years, and it has affected me. I don't understand how my parents could not have known. I didn't have that bond with them to tell them. It wasn't that type of relationship in our home. And that burden was way too heavy for a 3-year-old to have to carry alone. Growing up, I never felt comfortable after that, being alone in a room or in a vehicle with any males, not even my dad. And my dad, I knew, loved me and never would ever do anything to hurt me. But I don't remember hugging my dad and mom growing up, and I don't remember telling them I loved them before I went to bed at night, because there was something there that pushed me away. It was something I was feeling. And, I never told anyone that this happened until after I got married. I got married when I was 16, and my husband at the time, he's the first person that I ever told. And I didn't tell my mom till I was like 24, and when I did tell her, it was like, I remember her saying, oh, well, I had an uncle when I was young that tried to get me to do something to him. She never said nothing else about it after that. So it's kind of brushed off like it was really nothing, no big deal. Well, let me tell you how it affected me as an adult. When I had children of my own, I could not hug my children. I could not kiss my children. I could not tell my children I love them because it made me feel dirty. I felt it was wrong. I didn't want to make my kids feel what I felt. So that's how my drug addiction started. It was easier if I couldn't feel it all. I know today it wasn't my fault. And you know, now that I don't have my kids, I would give anything to hug them. I would give anything to tell them I love them. How can people not know what happens to their children? Something was taken away from me that I can never get back. I'm sorry.